Hey everybody, this is doggy080. Welcome back to another Thoughts on video series thing. This video is actually a response to a good friend of mine, m0kuu. Recently did a video asking what Wii U owners felt, how Wii U owners felt that there are some developers that are not putting games on the Wii U. I think he said Ubisoft. I think Ubisoft was the big one. And he mentioned games like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, and I think he mentioned Battlefield too. I'm not exactly sure. But, like, to me, personally, whenever I got my Wii U, I never looked forward to these types of games. I acknowledge that they're really good games, and that they definitely have their audience, but whenever I bought my Wii U, those were not the games that I had in mind when I picked up my Wii U. Like, you guys know me, I like Mario games. Platinum's games, Wonderful 101, Bayonetta. I think he mentioned a whole bunch of other games that are, like, totally awesome that I enjoy. So for me, to not have these games on the system really wasn't that big of a deal. And Call of Duty, I don't play Call of Duty, but that's another game I acknowledge that it's really well known. There are people that enjoy it, and you know, all that stuff. So for me, no, it was no. I didn't even give it a second thought. Like, of course, as any system owner, it's nice to have the option there, right? Like, if I ever did want to get the Assassin's Creed games for the Wii U, it would be nice to have that as an option. But, since they're not doing it, it's not an option. But like I said, like I've been saying, is that it's not an option that affects me all that much. But at the same time, I think it's also fair to acknowledge the people that do like these games. Like, I had this friend, well, I had several friends actually, but I had one friend that was super crazy about Assassin's Creed. Like, he knew everything about Assassin's Creed and went nuts every time they mentioned a new Assassin's Creed game. And he would quote the game all the time. He knew everything that happened. He had played through all the games multiple times. He even bought the Steam version of one of the Assassin's Creed games just because it had 1 or 2 extra missions or something. And this particular friend was also a very I don't know how much he got into the multiplayer of Call of Duty, but he did enjoy the single player of Call of Duty, and I know that because on his YouTube channel, which unfortunately is no longer a thing, he had played through, I think, on the hardest difficulty, and he did pretty good. Like, he really enjoyed the entire vibes of the Call of Duty games. And like, every time I hear that a developer isn't going to be putting a certain game on a system, for me, I don't care too much because I buy Nintendo stuff for Nintendo games. Of course, Nintendo's gonna put their Nintendo games on their Nintendo systems, so it's not gonna affect me that much. But at the same time, you get these other people that are very, very big fans of these popular systems, or you get these people that are very big fans of these very popular games, and while personally those games don't mean that much to me, that doesn't mean that there are people that these games do mean a lot to. Like, m0kuu and I see eye to eye on almost everything game related. We're very artsy, creative type of people, and we love our super out there crazy action fighters and like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, and just these crazy over the top games that perhaps not everybody likes. Of course, everybody likes different things. You have, like, take my experience with the PlayStation 3, for example. 2 of the games that I got, one of them Like, these were the reasons I bought a PlayStation 3, was because of Noby Boy and Demon Souls. Two completely different games, but they each appealed to me in very unique ways. Noby Boy was that game that I was like, what is even happening on the screen? I have to play this game. The first time I saw a Noby Boy video, I thought it was a really dumb little animation that somebody had did, and then I found out that it was a game and I had to play it. And I still love Noby Boy. It's the weirdest game I have ever played, and it's not for everybody, but it's one of those games that means a lot to me. But if they were to put a Noby Boy 2 on the PlayStation 4, oh man, I have no intentions on getting a PlayStation 4 at this moment, mainly because of money reasons, but like there's nothing really that grabs me to that system right now, aside from probably Little Big Planet, but I don't even think Little Big Planet can buy me over just yet. Not just yet. I need to see more of it, but that's my reasoning behind it. And then, what was it? Demon Souls was a lot harder of a game, and I think in this day and age, we had so many games that were just super easy. You can beat it with your eyes closed. It felt really interesting to have a game that didn't hold your hand nearly as much as 90% of everything that had been coming out at the time. So whenever I saw both of those games, I just said, I have to get the system. I need to play these two games. I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, I had to bring up that friend that was super crazy about Assassin's Creed and pretty crazy about Call of Duty. And my friend Shanzi loves Battlefield, although I think he's for the most part moved to PC for his Battlefield goodness. These types of games, they don't necessarily mean a whole lot to me, but having that option there is always good. Options are always good. I think, if anything, Ubisoft deciding to not put these games on the Wii U, they're only hurting themselves in sales. It's not like they're developing these games specifically for one system. No, they're developing the games completely separately, and then they're just putting it on whichever system it'll fit to. So it's not like they're specifically taking these games and putting them on the Wii U as a Wii U only game. And I think with all of the controller options for the Wii U, if Ubisoft is really worried about having Wii U specific features, then just get rid of it altogether. I mean, the gamepad, if you're worried about the gamepad, then just put your health on the gamepad or something. Put the map on the gamepad. It doesn't have to be some crazy shake the gamepad to use your grappling hook or whatever. I just think, if anything, they're hurting themselves more to not put it on there rather than, trying to save whatever. Because if someone only has enough money to buy the Wii U, and then they think the Assassin's Creed games look interesting, they're not going to go out to buy a completely different system just for a game that might be interesting. Whereas if the game was on the Wii U, they might be more compelled to pick it up on the Wii U and then try it. And I think that's probably all I have to say on the matter. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know. How do you feel about if a certain developer said that they weren't going to make specific games for your system? What is your reaction to whenever this happens? Like, I know this particular conversation is about Ubisoft and the Wii U, but like, if you don't have a Wii U, what's preventing you from getting it? Like, would any particular developer moving to that system sell you a system? Or how would you feel if a certain developer pulled their games from the current system that you had? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I gotta give a shout out once again to my good friend m0kuu. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. He does really cool stuff. A lot of art stuff, a lot of informative videos, a lot of gaming related videos. Check it out if you like this type of video. He does a lot of that. And it's all good stuff. All good stuff. Be sure to tell him that little old doggy sent you. He's actually getting really close to 500 subscribers, so if you like what you see over there, be sure to give him a nice little subscribe. I'm sure he would appreciate that very much. Anyway, I've been Doggy080. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.